All right. Happy Tuesday, everybody. We're getting a little bit of a late start, but thank you so much for joining us. We are live here at Midwest Elevation with our weekly series, let's cancel that. The Conversations to Raise the Collective Conscious. We are here today. I have a very special guest who I'm so excited to speak to, Sal Daina. Is that Dana? Am I saying that right? All right.
You're saying that right.
Awesome. We have an overarching topic, but of course, as you know, here in Midwest Elevation and our conversations, they tend to run the gamut of the things that highlight the inner work that we do to see the outer change. Today, our topic is blockbusting visibility for heart-focused business, and I know that we've got a lot of folks here, our coaches and healers, writers, creatives, so many people in Midwest Elevation who are doing such amazing work out into the world. And sometimes it gets tricky, right? When we're showing up for that work and the balance between the inner and the outer. But before we get too deep into that, let me introduce Sal to you. Sal started her award-winning career on major blockbusters like The Matrix and I, Robot before becoming an independent producer. Sal's successes included a film in competition at Berlin International Film Festival and producing content for major brands like Louis Vuitton. Then, 10 years ago, after a terrible flashback and multiple diagnoses of trauma, Sal's recovery took her on a powerful life journey into experiencing cellular healing and mindset shifting skills. Today, Sal showers her prowess in story work and powerful healing techniques as a visibility blockbuster for people doing business online. As a lead presenter at Get Live Online, her magic raises people up by clearing blocks so that they have confidence to stand out online and shine authentically. Clients include coaches, presenters, healers, and all heart-focused businesses so that they can influence their influence, claim their space by creating blockbuster videos and attract more clients online authentically, which is what we are doing here today. You can find Sal on the Glow team in her Facebook group. Is a closed community group for support, guidance, and training for online blockbuster videos. And in addition to that, we're going to hear a little bit more about what Sal does, not just for the outer work and how we present ourselves as healers, but also the inner work and that deep inner work that really does make a huge difference in how we show up in the world. So welcome, Sal. I am so grateful that you are here and excited
Thank
to
you.
speak with you.
Thank you, Renee. It's absolutely awesome to be beaming into America and the Midwest. I have been to America, but I've never been into the Midwest, or I don't think so. I've been to Denver. Is that Midwest? I should have
Denver
done
is,
some.
yeah, Denver wouldn't call themselves Midwest, but we're not too far, right?
I
We're
was
not.
very young when I was there, but it's good to be here. I'm coming in from Australia, so just so people know, uh,
Awesome.
it's it's a different time zone and a different climate, but we're all one heart, one space, one connection.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I gotta say, Sal, my audience, some of my audience has known me for quite some time, and if any of you tuned in last week, you saw that there was our guest and I kind of worked through some anxieties that I was having. But this is the thing, right? Being visible, having your work here online, and showing up. Um, you know, you have done so much wonderful supportive work for so many people who are grappling with those inner blocks and the things that get in the way. And what you said to me just before we hopped on here was so beautiful, and I felt like it changed my entire. I mean, my whole body feels different than it did 5 minutes ago, right?
Awesome, that's great.
Yeah. So, maybe we start there. Like, how did you really weave together that that inner work and the outer work? I mean, you talk about deep healing that you've gone through and that you coach others on. and how that connects really to the work you do.
Yeah, for sure. So like 6 months before COVID really struck, I was finishing a university degree as well as coming through the end of a kind of big healing process. And I went to a seminar and decided I would become a practitioner in that modality. And I was training. And at one of the seminars where I was training, they said, "Would anybody know anything about marketing or anything in Australia?" And I've been sort of involved with that modality from 10 years ago when my mother got cancer. So it had really helped me, and I'd stepped back and I decided that was something I really wanted to practice and help others with. But I put my hands up and I was like, actually, I felt a really strong call. I'm here at my kind of spiritual home, which is the Blue Mountains in Australia. People might know it's at the toppest, it's the tallest part of the mountains in Australia. And I went and stood on the mountain and I said, "Do I put my hand up? I don't want to throw my hat in the ring. I don't want to be a producer again. I don't want to do that." And I did. And the mountain said, "Love." And I was like, whoa, okay, I think that's a yes. So I did that. We increased their sales, we made videos, and I did the events and we increased our sales by 150%. And then I was going to go to Europe and work for them. And then COVID struck and it all imploded. And I woke up realizing that I always back everyone else. And I was stuck where I'd bought a house thinking I was going to Europe. I was going to have it as an investment, and everyone was in lockdown. I had no family, no friends in this area where I bought this house, but it's where I landed because it's where a last event was that got cancelled. They were live events. We lost all the income, and that job just disappeared.
Mm.
And I woke up realizing that I had to be the practitioner and I had to get in front of people somehow, and I would have to make videos.
Right.
And I did this like, okay, I'll jump on and do that. And I got all dressed up in the way I know. I looked amazing. And I wanted to work with men and I wanted to help them heal their sexual trauma so that we could basically make women not be victims to men with their sexual trauma. So this is like my big plan. And I stepped in front of the camera and did it, put it up online, woke up the next morning and had a huge shame attack. I spiraled down and realized that what I'd done was I dressed myself as if I was going on a date. I felt like a prostitute. I felt like I had completely and utterly prostituted myself, that I was faking it, that I was trying to sell my beauty instead of the healing, even though it was genuine or what I wanted to do. Right. But I was like, I could not move. I was bereft. I was traumatized. I re-traumatized myself by going online. And I really had to dig deep and work out what that was, And I reached out to my sister, who's a stylist, who we do with Get Live Online, and some other people in film and video. I was like, okay, that's not what I want to do. And I started researching and everything. And then I was doing a challenge with a coach who we share. And I was watching everybody else's videos and I started critiquing them because that's what I've been doing for years. I've been like, how do you make better videos? And I finally jumped on. I said, hey, if your videos look crap, I can help you. And I started a Facebook group, and I woke up the next morning, there were 80 people there. I was like, oh my God, or 30 or 80, I can't remember, but I had to oh my God, I'm gonna have to do something with this. I have to do it. And there's something about being genuine, a real need to help, seeing a real need, niching down and getting that. And that's what looked better on camera and how I did it.
That's amazing.
But over that 9 months that we've been working with people, I got to use this modality anyway, because from the outside in with women often, and men actually, we work with men in this space too, which has been phenomenal. Mm-hmm. Like you, you try to hide what's going on.
Yeah.
And show, because you want to help, just like me. And yet the camera is recording your light. So if anything is blocking the light in you, it's going to see it and it's going to magnify it. And so I would say to people, well, just close your eyes if you trust me. And I would just open into what I know is the modality that I work in, which is really, honestly, I say it's like a channel of just opening into the shared space of source of energy and just helping, facilitating or empowering the shifting of what is there. And usually what comes up is a memory. And I believe that's stored in a cell,
Mm-hmm.
often from being very young,
Mm-hmm.
and a time when to be visible would have caused harm to ourselves. And so the body didn't do that. Wisely, the brain kept you safe.
Right.
Wisely, the body protected you. And yet, it's never had an opportunity to come up again until you're going to be very visible, very exposed. You're going to try something new, whatever. And the body say, hang on a second, we know how to deal with this. Hang on, we just do that.
Right.
And so clearing that it has been phenomenal to see people shift and change and just start to get joy in, making mistakes, getting visible, enjoying, but always coming from a place of where is my heart and how do I want to serve here? And
I love that. I love it because it's not just about like perfectionism, right? It's not just about, oh, I need to look good and I need to make sure I have all my notes and I need, that's a piece of it, obviously, but that, causes all sorts of anxiety. There's that.
yeah.
But it's even deeper than that. And it might have, like you said, nothing to do with like being perfect, but just, a protective mechanism against being seen. Um, which is
And
something.
oftentimes though we try to, one of the things that humans have evolved over the millennia is the greatest fear finding machine.
Mm,
So its whole job is like, what's wrong with the picture? Now, video, right, is a amplified version of that, believe me. I'm just having feedback. So someone's video, your video, I can hear the sound coming through your phone. Something's happening in the
there's
video.
nothing
But
coming
anyway.
through my phone, but it might be looping back from my computer. I'll turn my volume down.
So no worries. So the screen, if you stop thinking about the screen as a screen and start thinking about it as a frame, okay, it's a frame that we're looking at. Your eyes, everybody's eyes is reviewing the frame. And we might think we're in control of what we're seeing and thinking about it, but actually the brain is dissecting, are you safe in my world or are you not safe in my world? Its very first job is, what's wrong with this picture? Can you harm me? It's not, what do I love about this picture? I'm going to love that. That's the first 1 second. So the second is, do I like or don't I like? Are you going to, am I pray for you or are you pray for me?
Mm.
And the third second is, am I going to stay or am I going to go? Do I run, freeze, fight, or flight? And sometimes people get triggered by videos and they stay because they're frozen and they're feeling re-traumatized. Sometimes we watch with intent. And so that intentionality of the first 3 seconds of coming onto video is really, especially when you're going live and you've got people waiting, is to really open into, well, what do we want here? What do we want out of that? I learned that from Oprah. That's not a Sally original, right?
Right.
Like, she says, what's your intention to her audience when she's interviewing? And I think working with that is really important. But knowing that the first 3 seconds is important and people are judging us. They are judging us on appearance. They are judging us on what's in the frame, not what's on the screen. And so working with that to your strength is really important. And one of the very basic ones, no matter what, is to always have your eyes in the top third, which you've got pretty much right on the edge, because the brain is looking at the face in thirds, right?
Yeah.
Neck
Yeah.
up. What's here? We need to quickly scan that. We're visual people. We're like, is she a danger? Is she a threat? Is she okay? And then we go straight down to the body very quickly. Are you moving like that? Like the body can calculate, the brain can calculate. Just because you're on a
So
screen, it's still doing it
right. So
subconsciously.
that's so crazy that it's that quick too. I think I know that consciously that it's like, oh yeah, I'm sure, people take that in very quickly, but it's happening so far underneath our own radar and our consciousness of, all the ways in which we are preparing for whatever this is that's going to come next.
So I always come on camera made up.
Hmm.
Okay. So if you think about Dolly Parton, She always comes on made up. Now, if Dolly was to come out unmade up and sing her song, we wouldn't know who she was.
Right.
She's created a way for all people to feel safe with who she is. And so, if you're a coach or a healer or a therapist, or even a mum or a dad, and you're thinking about going to school and impressing the principal because you want something for your child, you do a whole lot of different things. And the video is just about setting up a space that's really easy, true, authentic, but amplified so that people's brains can relax very quickly. I'm trying to relax people's brains quickly so that they hear the message, right?
Right.
They don't see the
That's,
wound.
what you just said to me is like mind blowing, because especially as somebody who, I don't frequently get made up. Uh, you
Well,
know,
you don't need to. I mean, you're very beautiful and the camera loves you. So this is the thing about understanding that as well.
well, right, right. But like, to think that, oh, well, if you're, somebody like Dolly Parton, oh, they have to get made up and they have to do this. But thinking of it in from the perspective of it's so that you can recognize and trust her immediately, that is a totally different perspective. And like, then, oh, it's because, she wants to, look pretty or impress the boys, or, or whatever it is, whatever it is that we, grapple with image, right? Um, but that's just mind blowing that it's really that safety issue, because if you show up as, who you are authentically and also consistently, then people will know what to expect. And you're right.
I would
That's
suggest that
amazing.
even should you go crazy, big, successful, and a cable network says, Renee, we would love to put your show on. Could you come into the studio though? It's better to have the lights and we can get everybody in, and we'd love that rather than just your. I guarantee that the set designers would create a home just like yours, but amplified, right?
Oh
We just
yeah.
amplify it. So you want to get comfortable with who you are enough internally that you're willing to push that out 20% to help
Mm,
other people hear your message that's genuine. And we're not for everybody. I'm not everybody's cup of tea and everyone's not my cup of tea, right?
yeah.
And that's what the diversity and inclusion package that's going on in the world today is so amazing. We
Hmm.
don't know who are my people until my people show up, and I don't know who we meet each other and we go, oh yeah, we're at each other's people. That's not to say that people are excluded, but I think it's to say, it's to give permission to shine our own light rather than
Mm,
try to. If they say, if you're trying to shine your light for everyone, often you're for no one, except Dolly Parton breaks the rule. She breaks the rule because she's really got such a powerful call
mm.
to ask people to show up as who they are authentically. And what's brilliant about that is it's an ironic statement that she is so made up, but that she loves it.
Yeah. Well, that's just it. That she loves it. Yeah.
And that she always loved. She talks about this story, not to tell her story, but to reiterate the idea of seeing a woman who people called trash, and she just thought she looked awesome.
Right.
She just thought she looked so glamorous and she was so made up and she'd gone to so much trouble to be liked. And I love Dolly that she says she needed a lot of attention. So do I. I am a person who needs a lot of attention. I also, as she, needs a lot of downtime.
Yes. Yes, you are speaking my language.
I'm an ambivert. And we can put labels and we can put things on it. And, at the end of the day, it's like, who am I and what do I want to be? And sometimes putting on my glasses, my chain, my clothing for video, which amplifies who I am. I'm basically like wearing, glamorous tracksuits. What do you call it? Like leisure wear, right? Because
Right,
in my
right.
home, I'm pretty much leisure weary. And when I'm on set or if I'm working on film, I need to be able to get around quick. And if I go to a market though, or if I'm going to meet a special client, I would always wear my best clothes. Like, they say, get dressed when you want to, bring the Shakti, or as if you're meeting God. What would you
Ooh.
wear to meet your like absolute goddess? Would you just, and yet be prepared to go naked?
Right. That was my thought as you were like, well, if I'm meeting God, Yeah. Oh,
So
I love it.
acceptance comes is ironic, it's a paradox, it's all sorts of things. But the ultimate thing is you don't want some old shitty memory from your life being the thing that dictates you not stepping into your power and offering your gift to the world. So the inner work comes for me when it's like, hang on, this is a block that is no longer serving me. Something wants freedom. And then I go
Yeah.
into do the inner work with people, which is the sort of healed to whole stuff.
Right. Yeah, I love it. Let's get into that a little bit because I'm curious about the ways without giving of course all your secrets away, but what is how do you find that you best get to those points with your clients? Especially, someone
Find they
like
show
me,
up.
maybe I don't even know what my block is, right? So how do we even I just know I'm feeling some type of way and
So I ask again, just a little bit of opening and
mm,
trust into where in the body is it
mm,
deepest? Where is the greater resistance? And so, if you were to close your eyes or just do it open eyed if you want, and just really feel into from the top of your head to the bottom of your toes right now,
mm.
where in the body is there a restriction, a contraction, a constriction, or a blackness, some part of you that your awareness is not willing to go to, or it's really loud. So there can be really loud attention, and then you go, well, what's underneath that loudness?
Mm,
You know,
mm.
and open into that, and then another layer. And I kind of would just keep opening and inquiring. And there's an energetic field that comes up. So, I mean, look, I don't know if this is me or you, but I'm really feeling something here in your shoulder. What's going on here?
Yes, I. Oh my God! I've in the last 2 days I've been nursing my this rotator cuff. I can't put my arm back. I've been in. I brilliant. Yeah. I'm having very limited mobility in my left shoulder
Well,
for the
I'm
last.
very happy to work with that right now, but you would have to trust your audience, and we're public, and I don't know,
Oh, I
we
do.
never thought you to show
I'm.
up.
Let's just. Yeah. I'm just so. That's
Curious?
amazing. Yes, I'm so
Mhm.
curious.
Okay, so if you'd be willing to, close your eyes perhaps and just really feel that rotator cuff, you know, yeah, and but with your awareness, there'll be an area in it that is the strongest or most definite point of resistance, or um, give it a color. And what color would it be?
Mm, I'm seeing red.
Uh-huh. And if you were to allow that red to be there, what's in the core of the red?
It's like a black tar, something very thick and
Yeah. So if you just continue to let the black tar kind of now have its way with you, and you were to just open into that really deeply, just let the black tar. I wonder if the black tar could communicate through a word or an image, what it would say to you. And what would it say?
hmm. Well, the word help came up, but I don't
And
like it.
opening to that. Don't give me a story, just open into
Okay.
help for a minute.
Okay.
So just open into help, into the black tar of help. How does it make you feel?
Hmm.
Open, keep opening. You couldn't
Like
move and you just sat there with it. What would you have to feel? Or what could you not feel?
lonely?
Mm. Well, if you welcome that deeper loneliness and thought, is there a belief here, a vow I've made to myself around some part of who I am?
Mm. That I have to shoulder it alone.
And if you welcome that for a minute, and we just went in with a campfire right here and invited a mentor, a sage, someone whose wisdom you absolutely trust, but see them come with a magic cloth.
Mm.
And they're going to dive right into that space. And they're just going to, it's going to be like a toxic magnet. And it's just going to, and they're going to throw it on the campfire. And they're just going to keep until it's all gone. False belief, gone. I have to shoulder this all by myself. You tell me when it's clear and gone, when it's completely sucked out and in the fire. There's nothing but scintillating cleanness here, almost like a crystalness. You let me know when that's done. Sit here and just observe all of that just being going into the fire, all of it.
Mm.
And if there's any
Yeah.
deep residualness that needs to stay, I'm going to see a box come and we're going to put it in a box, put a pink bow around it, and send it out to the universe to be looked at later, maybe in a private moment when the conscious mind's ready.
Mm.
But for now, see that sage or wise wisdom, get another cloth, almost like colors of the rainbow. And on that is a new belief. And ask out loud to that sage, that wise person, what would be a more healthy, wholesome belief to get me through this? And what
Mm.
did they say? Ask out loud, Renee. What would be a healthier, wholesome belief or vow?
What would be a more healthy or wholesome belief? That I am supported with a network of people and the nature and the essence, the essence of all that is.
And let that be in this cloth and just let it go in and just reinstall in all those places where it was. Let it just find itself into that shoulder, that rotator cuff. Yeah, all parts, just reinstalling this healthiness here. And if there's any stuck or hidden parts, I invite them to go into a box, to come out in a private moment when the conscious mind is ready to look at that. And go into a box and put a pink bow around and send it out to the universe. But reinstalling this, I am supported. I have a network and a community of people. I'm going to
Yes.
install one more thought. Let me just go in with a belief that I am more than enough. Allow this to just enter in. I am more than enough. And there is more than enough for everyone.
Mm.
And welcome that. And see the campfire disappear, sending gratitude to the mentor for showing up. Mm.
Mm-hmm. Mm. So
Beautiful.
amazing. So amazing. Oh my gosh. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
Yep. I love the pink bow. I'm gonna return to those boxes.
We
It's a
have to acknowledge that things are here and want freedom. They want visibility. And
mm-hmm.
yet, the private work I do it's over 3 months, as I mentioned to you. It's quite long, just for people to know. It feels long. It's only 90 days. I mean, it's
I was
nothing,
gonna
right?
say, yeah, in the grand scheme of things, it's
And it's only 3 big processes, but I check in every week because the visibility part or the blocks that we have, they're tender often. They're from young places and they need some practicing to do it. So it's 3 big processes and 12, and it's over 3 months. And, it it's personal work. And so if something comes up that's not ready, I can tell, I can feel it, like I could feel in your shoulder. And I just say, let's go into a box and we'll come back. It's too
mm-hmm.
exposed. It needs to be gently uncovered, released, let go, practiced into worthiness, and then yeah,
Mm.
that's the
That's
shift.
beautiful. That's beautiful. Well, thank you so, so much. I love the imagery. I'm gonna, stick with that. Uh, it's beautiful imagery and wrapping and the releasing of the fire. I've been so into the elements lately, so this is
Ah,
This
cool.
is a beautiful, yeah,
Really
addition.
ancient techniques. So
Hmm.
long lineage of women sitting around a fire helping each other heal, grow, you know, grow their communities, take care of their people, make sure that the world is in balance.
Yeah, yeah,
Go, goddess,
absolutely.
you got this. So great to
Thank
be here
you.
with you, and thank you for the opportunity to meet with some Midwesterners.
Absolutely. We are here. I know they call it flyover country sometimes because nobody wants to land here, but really, there's a whole mess of beauty here. Whole bunch of amazing humans and amazing energy that can elevate just
Well,
as
I feel
much.
a promise coming up, and it's rare that I promise things online, but I really feel a promise that if I come to America, I'll come to the Midwest.
Yes, I love it. I love it. Well, I have a vision that one day Midwest Elevation in its original vision of a massive event, and we will all descend here and gather.
I'm feeling the energy of that. I would love to somehow support your vision of that and make that happen. My sister, who I work with in Get Live Online, is in Utah. I don't know where, and you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
as soon as we open up, I'm coming over. So
Oh my gosh, that would be amazing. That would be so amazing. Well, my guests here, you are amazing. I'm so grateful that you are here. Midwest Elevation, thank you for joining us today. If you're watching the replay, let us know. If you want to get in touch with Sal, we're going to give you that information down in the comments. Um, Obviously, you got a glimpse at some of the deep inner work that she can help us all with. It's so
I want to say
appreciative.
we didn't talk about a shoulder beforehand. Like we didn't re-rehearse that. We
Yeah,
really did that. Totally spontaneous.
that's funny. Yeah, that was totally you. You just keyed right into that. It was amazing. That was amazing.
All right.
Oh,
Well,
so
that's
appreciate.
source. I think we're all connected to one thing. So it's just, as I said, it's an open channel. So thank you for being so open. Thank you for being
Absolutely.
me. Thank you for being vulnerable enough and visible enough that you would share that with your people. That's amazing. And that you show up for these women. I think you're incredible, Renee.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, Midwest Elevation. We will see you again next week, Tuesday, 4:30 p.m. Central. We'll see you then.